bottom side of the map as their focus.
I think you can't play a Felios here. It doesn't work. It's too risky. It almost feels like a Zeri angle, even though Zeri Bard is not necessarily the lane where you're looking for all-ins. It would just be blind if they locked it here now, so they'll probably save it for that final pick. But I'm curious now where we're headed here for Rich, because he's the one who's going to get this lock-in here. And it's going to be Sion. Okay, so not going to be looking for an aggressive pick, a strong side laning pick, just looking for a tank, which reinforces the idea that it is going to be a strong scaling AD carry pick like that Zeri here, potentially for Jiwoo in this final position.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
On the other hand, could be incredibly powerful for Gen.G here.
Yeah, it's not. I was thinking Lucian, because there is the Jarvan, and Cataclysm can be, you know, somewhat mitigated with that Relentless Pursuit. Of course, Ezreal fits that bill as well, and the Lucian's more difficult to pick because you don't have the Nami option. Of course, Braum is still there, but it's kind of interesting that we've seen Nami picked up already in this series.
I think they're just going to Karma here. The movement speed is very useful. They already have tons of hard engage. They don't need an engage support here. The Rakan and Nautilus would have paired really well with everything they already have, but they're just going to look to crush the lane. They don't care what AD carry it is. I'd say that, but it's the classic instead. Duro pulling out the Leona, the last one left, and it's just going to be Jhin here for Geo. So instead of going for that scaling hyper carry, is going to look for somebody to follow up on all this front line. They have the Jarvan, they have the Sion, the Cassiopeia will do a lot of consistent damage later on. Great pick into the Rise. Take the nameplates off here. I feel like these drafts are almost dead even.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried though at the lack of damage on the DRX side, right? Like, so much of this is going to come from Yukal, and he is very single target. Outside of his ultimate, he's going to be wanting to Twin Fang someone that's in range, and nothing of what I say about scaling and damage and all that sort of stuff is going to matter, as here we are onto the Rift for Game 2. All right, let's get into it. See whether DRX can once again have a good start. I think the bottom side, like lane matchup in the first few levels, way better this time around for DRX. And we'll see whether they can leverage that, as Chovy and Yukal doing a bit of battle here, but not too much to worry about. And there's already Coach Voice Wolf.
Yeah, I actually didn't hear who, in fact, pressed it. DRX pressed it.
DRX are really good at pressing the Coach Voice button.
Yeah, they did press it a lot. They pressed it all 3 times. Joker may have even pressed it a 4th time and then was told by the referees, in fact, he's used all 3 of his voice comms.
That may have actually happened. Well, let's see what the plan is going to be. I think, like, isn't it a little bit of a waste? Weren't you just talking to them in the draft? Could you not have, like, you know, all of this is pretty pre-plannable.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about, like, Coach Voice meta, this may have been a misuse. As Duro goes in, level 1 is not exactly the highest value there, as both heals are going to get popped. Actually a decent trade there for Gen.G, despite them having the melee support. Ruler is actually sneaking in a lot of these Mystic shots. As I said, he misses one, but has been pretty good at evening up these trades here in this lane.
Yeah, now the level 2s here for Duro. There's a little bit more fight in this bottom lane, but with the minion advantage here for DRX, that is going to be the end of any opportunities. Just going to back away and look for Mystic shots to clear those minions first.
Yep, of course you do want level 3 so that you can actually press Eclipse when you go in. Having the Zenith Blade, shield is going to be good, right? The combination for the stun, but if you're just then immediately going to die, it can be problematic, and maybe just Aftershock not going to be enough. So you do kind of want that level 3. See whether they do go for any all-ins at that stage, as now Willa is looking for this invade. Might actually be able to steal this one away. Okay, Canyon moving on now towards his Krug camp. I don't think Canyon wants to give this up, and does still have the vision here. There is the Magical Journey, and actually great use of the Cosmic Binding. Of course, that is a problem with the Warrior Trickster, is the fact that you can set up for that stun, and great use of it there by Andil.
Did not even notice until it procced that Andil is taking Electrocute here, which is pretty aggressive.
Ooh.
Did end up doing a little bit of extra damage there, but doesn't amount to a kill.
Yeah, let's have a listen, see what Joker is saying here.
He's not happy, I think, about the fact that they lost brush control there, but he's talking about the lane setup at level 1.
Yep. Just making sure that they know exactly what they need to do. Get that early setup sorted out. And for different compositions, it can be different, so maybe they just didn't have enough time to discuss it before we actually loaded onto the Rift. Making sure that everyone is on the same page is going to be a good thing. As Gen.G currently behind about 200 gold, so Coach Voice worth 200 gold so far in this game.
Indeed.
Don't know whether
we
that's
still have
entirely true, but you know what I mean?
We have the cocoa potions and the special cookies as well on this patch. I didn't realize that was still a thing.
Oh,
at least in the UI. I don't know if that's actually in game. I don't think it is. I thought the Rift. Yeah, the Rift's changed. Anyway, in the UI, it's cool. It's still Christmas.
Yeah. And it's not. It's actually a really long time before we've got Christmas. Because as soon as Christmas is over, then it becomes like, you know,
no, Alice,
300 days until next Christmas.
Gingerbread cookies in the inventory. It's still Christmas season. Nobody's ever eaten a gingerbread cookie outside of the holiday season.
I
ever,
mean,
right?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just not quite as good because they're obviously a bit stale. But they are still fine. We do have a little bit of a battle here as Ruler Arcane shifting forward, finds the stun though to Zandal, as Ruler now going to flash over the top of G, will be able to lock down the kill. Grabs that one for first blood and is looking for another. Stays alive by getting into the brush to avoid dying to the minions. And Gen.G already off to a phenomenal start this time.
I have to watch again. I think Gio was like just moments away from hitting that final shot. He's flashed on there, does not get the fourth shot there. Ruler survives with a sliver of health, and is then able to clean up with some help from Duro there in the final moment, as Ondil is unable to get that last auto. The brush as well, you mentioned, preventing the minions from really getting involved, and it's 2 kills here to Gen.G. So the initial setup here is on to Jiu. First shot, right? He's trying so hard to get that fourth shot out. Flashes on him.
Man.
He's so close to it. And then Leona here gets the stun, gets into the brush, the minion aggro is dropped. And Ruler survives with, I didn't see exactly much health, but it looked like sub 20.
Yeah, it was definitely the lower end of the double digits. We'll say that. So Ruler really playing that one to the limit. And if he had have died, would have still been a huge win.
Yeah, no.
That's the ridiculous part. Is now Chovy trying to sidestep some of this, but the ulti does come through from Yukal. Now Chovy with that phase rush is looking to try and run away. Can he get back into the run warp? He can. And that is going to get him to safety. Nicely done there, but does have to use a whole lot. Not the flash, though. Just Ghost.
Yeah, just Ghost. He did take Ghost this game. We've discussed this a little bit, starting with the pre-show even yesterday, but Ryze takes Ghost most of the time in this meta because of the empowered recalls you get and home guards.
Home guard power as Canyon will be backing away. Good sidestep from the Deadly Flourish, but still Andal going to be able to get that Electrocute proc with a bit of a meep slap. DRX now setting up for a Dragon by the looks of things. As Chovy looking a bit worse for wear here in this mid lane, but will be able to get that wave shoved in. And that means that Yukal will be able to make his way back there to pick that one up. And so a little bit of respite given to Gen.G. So we do have that reset coming through. So Chovy looking to home guard his way back to this mid lane. Doesn't quite have, anything put together just yet towards that Rod of Ages, but we'll have that one coming relatively quickly. In this top lane, haven't really seen too much of it, but you can see Keen having a better and better time as this game goes on. Ambessa doesn't really worry too much about tanks.
Keen's like, imagine trying to hit a charged Q on Ambessa.
Yeah.
Good luck. He dashes 17 times.
Bit of a release date situation here.
Oh, almost on that one. Not quite. They still got the slow.
Wait. So, but, Sion's a really old champion, right? Was out like in the release of League of Legends, but he wasn't this champion. So release date is not actually release date for Sion, is it? It's release date for the rework for Sion, which was like a few years ago.
Wasn't Sion like originally green colored as well, like his face?
Yeah, he was a bit odd. He did have only one button as well. As now Chovy going to have to flash out of the way of that Cataclysm. Nicely done there from Willa to get that coveted summoner spell from this Ryze.
At a heavy cost, by the way. This is why supports don't roam that much. It worked out pretty well for Ondil last time around, but this time it's going to cost him 2 plates, right? 2 plates.
Oh, I think it may have gone, but we can't actually
move, Jen, I can't see that.
I think it might still be there.
Yeah, it's still up. I saw like the edge of the 4, I think, on the mini-map.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see any gold go over, so that was kind of the biggest tip, or a hint, but
the 4 is the big deal. And having a Jin standing next to a 4 feels correct.
He just doesn't want us to see it.
Yeah. When that plate does go down, Gio's going to have to go to the top lane where it says 4 still.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what's going to happen. Then convince Chovy to take a plate in mid lane so that then he can park himself there.
Coach voice for Gen.G, by the way, this time around.
All right. We'll be able to have a listen to what Ryu is going to be saying. One thing that is kind of cool is the fact that it's Joker versus Ryu. These guys have worked together before, and that's why you saw the camaraderie when they did that fist bump walking back both times after both of these first games. Certainly still remaining friends, even though now on very different teams as it was B&K Furex before this. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Ruler's going to easily be able to sidestep that one. I think that the discussion probably was around setting up for this dragon with the prio they have on bottom side, as that is exactly what they are doing now. Canyon is on vision, but he's also very aware that no one can really come over here and stop him. He has flash and ult, and he is ready to use it. Yukel, he's creeping over, but I don't know if he should be.
Yeah, he's on vision himself, but you got the miasma going down. There's the knock-up onto Chovy, remember. Doesn't have the flash. True Shot Barrage sails through, though, as Yukel has to flash away. Does manage to find the Petrifying Gaze, but it is still going to be him that falls down. And the Cyclone is going to lock up the Bard as well. So sad meep sounds and 2 kills to Gen.G.
I mean, Yukel went for the 1 in a million play there on trying to shut down the Wukong. It was very cool. It did still not work, unfortunately, for him. It looked very impressive, the timing of that miasma coming out, or Petrifying Gaze.
There is the barrier going to be used as G now looking for it. Oh, the reloading! So problematic, as Ruler is going to be able to dive off to the side with the Arcane Shift. Still, Jew is alive, and that is good news. Deadly Flourish not going to quite land.
Jin should have upgraded his clip.
Yeah, this is the problem. One day.
Wait, actually, no way. If he, he saves it.
I mean, Duro's coming in, there's the flash out, and Andrew just slaps him down. Just overstaying the welcome is now Keen. Could actually be the flash forward, and Rich is able to lock down the solo bolo. Chovy is going to be able to answer it here most likely, and we'll just need another Q or 2, and Rich will be going down. Does get the Soul Furnace, so we'll be buying a little bit more time as, don't tell me he gets out. Do not tell me he does not get out, thank goodness.
Well, in exchange, Yukel is going to grab that outer plate, the first one, which is really small, and is working on a second one here. Doesn't really have any AP, so it's going to take a little while, but is getting a little bit of a chunk into this one. Not quite able to get the second plate, but still a significant amount of damage goes over. Oh, a little grubby!
Oh, there we go. And that's with 3 grubs, so that is going to tick down just a little more, but let's have a listen to the coach voice here on the Gen.G side.
잠깐 나오는 거 맞대도 될 것 같아.
오케이. 집 안 갈게요.
I'm not going home.
So just talking to Duro about how Duro has been playing this one out. So that is basically what it is. Just giving him some tips on what to focus on moving further forward. And obviously, it did kind of work because then they got 2 kills.
Yeah.
You can't fault it.
Yukel is able to stop Canyon initially there, but they just don't have damage. They don't have the setup there. I think it was a very optimistic contest, and it backfires in a big way. Gen.G 2,500 gold up way faster than they were last game around. They're the ones who have the first dragon. DRX do get the grubs, which eventually got a second plate for them in the mid lane, but the situation here looking fairly dire.
Yeah, the problem is that the money is on Chovy and Ruler.
Yeah.
That's precisely not where you want the money to be.
Ondo got the kill onto Ruler earlier as well, not Ju.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. I'm sad we didn't get a full replay of that one, of Ruler being like, maybe he'll use his last shot and we kill him. And then he dies.
And that didn't quite work out. But watching a very bloodthirsty support go for the flash meep slap, that was definitely very fun. So glad we saw that as he takes the magical journey out.
Yeah, the Electrocute Bard Jin lane did not generate the lead that DRX were looking for in this one.
Yeah, getting cleanly duo killed was probably not the thing they wanted. As Tempered Fate goes down, Curtain Call comes in as well as now Gen.G looking to try and turn it. The Cyclone is enough just to kill Andil outright as now Willa inside the Cataclysm, but who's trapped in where with who is now Jew looking for a little bit, but Ruler is right behind him, and now Canyon just going to transfer over towards killing Yukel to keep himself safe. True Shot Barrage onto G, the flash forward from Chovy, the easy 1-2 punch here as Gen.G throw out the alley-oop, and it's 8-2. Gen.G really rolling over them now.
Yeah, nearly doubling the gold lead that they had moments ago. From 2,400 up to 4,200 here. Very much a disastrous early game here that is probably just going to spell the disaster. The end here of DRX, as we've talked about, like game times and stuff like that. The game time where the Nexus explodes hasn't changed as much as maybe people have said, but your ability to come back in games like this that gets so off the rails. I'm looking at you, Romer, yesterday. It's just not really possible. As you know, there's not a great target for Gio in this fight. He like shoots at Canyon, he's like, yeah, my carry on the top, Yukel, I can't really peel for him that well with this, and then Yukel just kind of tries to rejoin and dies, and they chase here for some reason, which is kind of absurd. Gio gets hit by the True Shot Barrage, Chovy gets the flash finish, and it's starting to look like a little bit of Harlem Globetrotters at this point.
Yeah.
Some quests start to get completed.
Yeah, this is going to be an uphill battle. Let's just say that 4,000 gold is the lead. That is kind of where, like, I feel like DRX got out to a pretty decent advantage at the beginning of game number 1. and it was turned around by Gen.G, but it's really going to take some heroics here in this game. And I mentioned already that this is a kind of composition where they will have damage issues if they are not ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
they are not ahead.
Cassiopeia is just kind of hoping the game doesn't explode, the Nexus doesn't explode for a while. And, you know, when you look at what the Jin is trying to do, it relies on a front line that, I mean, Sion's ahead.
Yeah.
There's,
there you go.
That's kind of a thing.
Almost 400 gold.
Yeah.
Absurdly good. All right, so Rich just needs to try and transfer that lead into getting more done as the Magical Journey will get Andal to...
Now you've just got a Hail Mary, right? Look for that Chovy side lane pick again. Maybe that'll work. It worked out kind of okay on the Azir in game 1.
Oh. These Mystic shots are really starting to hurt. Ruler is doing some damage now that that Trinity Force is now complete. He's almost 2,000 gold ahead. Golly.
Yeah, he's kind of large. It's a bit of a problem. They wanted to try to collapse onto Chovy, but Chovy stayed back, played safe. The rest of the team comes over. And now they have Prio on Dragon. And they'll gladly take another double Dragon here. This DRX is in game 1. This time it'll be Gen.G's. And I just don't think there's a real contest in this one. DRX tried last time.
Well, let's see what they can actually get done here. As it's actually Ruler that takes down the Dragon. Tempered Fate does nothing, and down goes the Bard. Now Willer is in a lot of trouble himself as he has to flash to get himself out of the way. UCal not going to be so lucky. Petrifying Gaze onto 2, but it does not matter. There is no follow-up, and that is another couple of kills swiftly going over to Gen.G as all of their quests have now been completed. And Jir does get a bit of a wave shoved in towards this turret, but I don't think in the neutral is really going to be able to fight against Ruler here as Willer comes down, does find the Cataclysm.
Ruler has Flash and Barrier, and Gio is reloading again. Ruler's like, try me.
Oh no. Well, he will find that bullet. Ruler is going to have to possibly use something to get out of the way, but there was no vision, and so therefore it is just not going to happen. Canyon moves in, but he's just trying to deter them from sticking around. And yeah, we don't need to look at the top lane. It's not all that interesting as Andal might be dead again as Shield of Daybreak, not actually quite enough there, but they're just going to follow him through his Magical Journey. So there goes the Bard once more.
You know, the analogy, you miss every shot you don't take, doesn't necessarily mean you need to take every shot. But Gio has been, certainly he's been pulling it out. Every time he gets a chance, he is going to escape here, but his turret is not long for this world. Rich is getting collapsed on. And that candle analogy, you know, maybe it's a bucket of water this time for Gen.G.
Well, you can see Rich is just bailing himself out of there as Gio is also going to die. Chovy and Ruler making short work of the Jin. The Sion, as we can see, is defecting. Just thinking that maybe Gen.G is going to be the right call for this game. But he is just going to be able to make it out. Cute little use of the Unstoppable Onslaught to make sure that he is going to survive. But Gen.G, in the meantime, will be taking the Rift Herald, and it's a 7,000 gold lead.
Yeah. This is the second Dragon contest where we're like, not sure what the plan is here. We do have a Cassiopeia and a Jarvan setup, but we don't actually have the ability to close the gap. We have no setup here. Send it anyways. Like, they have so many tools. If this game state is closer, and if they had Prio, it could have worked out.
Oh, in the meantime, got a bit of a fight here towards this bottom side. Solar Flare not quite getting the stun onto UCal. Looked like it was very, very close, but good sidestep there. Avoids that. But it looks like Duro and Keen will be able to absorb this pressure, actually doing a bit of damage back towards UCal as well. That Eclipse now completed. And Ruler with some spare time. This is what happens. I mean, DRX overloaded the bot side. They had a few extra members there. But now Duro is actually going to go for this, as now UCal could be in trouble. The flash out of the way from the Tempered Fate means that UCal is just dead, and Willer tries to get back towards that side of the players. Okay, Duro. Straight underneath the turret, is actually surviving for a very long time and uses the Rift Herald to get himself to safety. Willer is going to be ran over by the Rift. What the heck was those coach comps? They go into Duro's ear and say, all right, can you just pilot the Rift Herald to murder someone as you are almost definitely going to go down, and then watch Ruler get a solo kill in the mid lane? That was probably not what was said, but we did hear that he was giving Duro tips.
Yes. Wow, that was everything. I was going to say that was something, but I think it was actually quite
That was
everything.
A lot of things.
Yeah. No summoners for Duro in that exchange, by the way. Just all clean, you know. Go in, tank for Canyon to get the charge, reboot into the Herald, and then turn around and grab the kill. The Ruler's just making a highlight reel over here.
Yeah, he is. Willa might be able to kill him. He did have the barrier available, though. There's a Cataclysm avoided, and Ruler outplays him to pick up the double solo. Rich is going to turn up, and that's going to make it too hard as Deadly Flourish does come down. But I think the damage has been done as Geo is immediately punished now for killing Prince Ruler. And Canyon will be able to deal with that as he flashes forward to pick that one up. Now, Rich, oh, they just left. As Yuka was teleporting in,
yeah,
that's why.
TP is just a little bit too late. I want an instant replay of the fan cam, because the fans were like loving that Ruler play, but the second they wanted to give the support, he just got shot by Ju there, and they just promptly had to look sheepish and be like, well, I mean, it was a good play, but the timing was awkward. And yeah, right now, I feel like the only thing we don't know about the end result of this game is whether Ruler or Chovy is going to get POM.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, like, Chovy, game 1, 100%, game 2, perfect KDA, but it's kind of been the Ruler show here.
And Ruler had a pretty good game 1 as well. So, I mean,
recency bias means my prediction is Ruler's going to get it, because, I mean, watch this.
I mean, he does this, right?
Yeah.
And that might be enough just to get it regardless. Man, that was a sick outplay. What was that, is what he said.
I want to say he called him a youngin as well there at the end. If I understood that correctly. It's like Willer's like so much older than Will, and he's just like, I guess I have better hands than you, bro.
Yeah. That is a very Ruler thing to say. I would not put it past
like
whatsoever.
Who's the younk?
Yeah.
1 year off, that's what you get.
Damn. Well, I mean, just shows that, you know, some of these hands that have been around for a little bit longer are still working just fine. My excuses are running thin. Let's just say that.
Oh, God, Ruler. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe with the smack talk on top of it, he might get my vote. We'll see what happens to the rest of this game.
All right. Well, DRX, they're not out of it just yet, but they're very close. It's 11,000 gold, and we do not want to, you know...
they are out of it, Alice.
Yeah, we don't want to say anything that may lead to us sounding like we are not being a bit disingenuous. We don't want that. This game is borderline over. As Canyon is going to get engaged on here. Let's see whether he can find something as the Cyclone does get a couple of knockups. Surviving for a very long time, however, will be taken out. But look at these health bars. They're so low. Great sidestep there from Chovy at the same time. Does get interrupted, so he's not realm warping away, but that might be a dangerous thing as he gets a big old shield from the Seraphs, and in goes everyone. Ruler's now showed up. That's a bunch of extra money. I mean, Gio does manage to get the kill onto Chovy, so that is a big deal for picking up that cash, but I just don't think it's going to be worth it when Ruler is going to be picking up his 9th kill in a couple of moments.
Yeah, I mean, does this really change the landscape of POM votes that much? Like, it was really impressive from Chovy, but it wasn't an actualizer highlight, you know? It was.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, he ghosted, which is cool on the patch. I mean, yeah, Ruler killed a Scion, so that's not really like that many points in his corner either.
Oh, but he tanked the
outplay.
He tanked the zombie Scion, which I think is a big deal.
I mean, some points in Ruler's column is also not going. He's not going for the double tier build, which you know, I think it's fun and double tier is back and that's cool, but I don't think it's that good. Chovy here doesn't get the realm warp, and then they regret it, as you said in the play-by-play.
Yeah,
he does massive amounts of damage here, and then Duro shows up, gets on the back line. And Chovy's sacrifice was not in vain. Rich survived for a really long time, which is kind of cool. Are we just going to...
Wait, we're going to go for this? Oh, the Pro View, okay. Didn't we have... Never mind. He was saying something, so we will be able to get all of the info.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He called him a youngin, essentially. I was right.
He's like, I'm so young, and now I'm older. As he died. As we've got a little bit of a fight here towards the top side. There's a public execution. Tempered Fate locks up a few of them. But unfortunately, Andil is still going to die. Yukal also looking a bit worse for wear as it's a triple kill already for Ruler. And let's see whether he can lock down the Penta this time. Rich is going to go down for the Quadra, and Giu is just running for the hills. Another denied Penta here for Ruler. Unfortunately, they are still going to run after him, but it's just not going to be enough. And he gives up, says that he'll take a purple worm instead.
Close game.
Yeah, I would look.
Well played. Good try, DRX.
Yeah. It's another Infernal Soul, Wolf.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's cool. Twice in a row.
I think.
What are the odds?
the game will last long enough for that to come through. Oh, Jin versus
wins?
Turret.
Who
Turret wins!
Oh no, there's the Penta! There's the Penta! Unofficial Penta for Ruler! Put it on the stats page!
Oh my god, turn it off, I can't! Like, that's just inappropriate to show that.
It was definitely inappropriate. That was a sad time.
Like, that might have been the lowest point in Jiu's career. Like, that specific moment might be like the worst he has ever felt in a pro game.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And if
maybe it was when Guma sniped him.
I was gonna say, like, if you've been watching for a while, then you'll know that that is a big call. That's a big call, unfortunately.
Guma killing him on the Smolder game might have been the most low point, but
yeah.
Oh god,
it didn't feel great for anyone, I think, involved, as Ruler does one shot towards that turret to do 1 billion damage to it. Willa almost just dies as an afterthought, as in goes Canyon, finds the Cyclone, and down goes Willa. Now Ruler is moving forward. Tempered Fate does not find him, but Petrifying Gaze, it does. Public Execution gets right in amongst it, as it's a double for Ruler so far. Chovy grabbing a kill himself. And man, this Ruler guy is pretty good at this video game. 17, 2, and 6, and finally, Gen.G will put DRX out of their misery.
Yeah, pretty quick game 2 here. 24 minutes in. Game 1 a lot more interesting. DRX decided to send it big on those 2 dragon fights. They came up with nothing. And when it comes to the